Well, good morning, and it's Mandy Thursday 2020. Unlike any other Maundy Thursday we've known, I think. Still in lockdown with the coronavirus spreading throughout the land. And I'm going to read a passage today from the Passion story. There are two today that are of special interest and well known. The one is Jesus washing the disciples' feet, which I'm going to read now, and the other is, of course, the Last Supper that Jesus shared with his friends, which I'll read later. It's a bit noisy out here, and I did wonder about going to a quiet place to record. But then I thought, well, actually, this was going on with all the noise and the jumble of the world around them in Jerusalem on that very first Easter time. And so I thought I'd go with the noise of the world around, the banging, the saws, the seagulls, and read you the story. So from the Gospel of John. Before the Passover celebration, Jesus knew his hour had come. He was going to leave the world to return to his Father. He'd loved his disciples all the time he was in the world, and now he loved them to the very end. It was time for supper, and the devil had already prompted Judas Iscariot to betray Jesus. Jesus knew that the Father had given him authority over everything, and that he had come from God, and to God he would return. So Jesus got up from the table, took off his robe, wrapped a towel round his waist, and poured water into a basin. Then he began to wash the disciples' feet, drying them with the towel that he held around him. When Jesus came to Simon Peter, Peter said to him, "Lord, are you going to wash my feet?" Jesus replied, "You don't understand what I'm doing now, but someday you will." "No," Peter protested, "you will not ever wash my feet." Jesus replied, "Unless I wash you, you don't belong to me." Simon Peter exclaimed, "Then wash my hands and my head as well, O Lord, not just my feet." Jesus replied, "A person who has bathed all over does not need to wash except for the feet, to be entirely clean. And you disciples are clean, but not all of you." Jesus knew one of the disciples would betray him, and this was what he meant when he said, "Not all of you are clean." After washing their feet, he put his robe on again and sat down and asked, "Do you understand what I was doing? You call me teacher and Lord, and you are right, because that is what I am. And since I, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet, so you ought to wash one another's feet as an example. Do as I've done to you. I tell you the truth, a servant is not greater than their master, nor is the messenger more important than the one who sent him. Now that you know these things and do them, God will bless you." What a passage. There's so much in that. Peter saying, "No, Lord, you can't wash my feet," and then suddenly, "Well, wash all of me." And so often, don't we just feel like this, "Oh Lord, if you're going to touch my life, touch all of it, do all of me." But actually God deals with us little by little. Transformation is from one degree of glory to the next and the next and the next. Transformation is a process. And then those words at the end, "A servant is not greater than his master." Jesus spoke these words knowing he was about to suffer horrendously, even unto death. And I know that sometimes we just cannot understand why difficult times affect us. Why on earth are we going through this? And we gasp and we question and we wonder about our faith. And yet, Jesus suffered just as we suffered. He suffered because we suffer. So when we suffer, when difficult things happen, even to good people, as they so often do, we're all human beings, we're all the same. We live in this world with suffering as well, and a servant is not greater than their master. so we should not be surprised at these times. Yet nevertheless, we can fix our eyes towards the coming Easter day, when all things are made new and redeemed.